and a certain amount. And if Klopp or Jose Mourinho or Pep Guardiola spent that money, you'd expect them to win the league. So the bare minimum you expect Frank Lampard to do is contest the Winter League. Welcome back to the 3 Point Show. It's your boy Mike's 3P, and today we are talking about. We're going to give a little transfer roundup, slight reaction to some of the games of the weekend in the Premier League, but it's more a transfer roundup. But before we get into that, do make sure you like and subscribe. You know what I mean? I need them subs, so my people them subscribe. Now, first thing I'm going to say, obviously, despite, I think a lot of teams are cash strapped or whatever, but despite that, money was spent in this transfer window. And for me, the main three winners of the transfer window, for me, it's Chelsea, Aston Villa, and I'd say Everton. All right, I'll start with Chelsea. Chelsea, they rejuvenated their side, in my opinion. Who they got? They got Kai Havertz. For what I got, right, before I get into this, I get all my fee prices from Transfer Market. So if it's wrong, let me know, maybe in the comments below, or some sort of way, let me know. But yeah, Kai Havertz for 72 million, Timo Werner for 47, Ben Chilwell for 45, Ziyech was 36, Mendy was 20 something, whatever, 21, and a free signing for Malang Sarr and Thiago Silva. See, here's my thing, yeah. Not only are Chelsea doing good business, I feel like Abramovich is one of the few owners that takes his club as like his treasure, if that makes sense. It's like he really wants to back his club. And that's one thing you have to respect Chelsea for. Other clubs just don't have that. Man United, Arsenal, other clubs as well. You know what I mean? The thing is, the reason why I say that is because Chelsea never lie down for too long. You're never going to see Chelsea go on a 4 or 5 year hiatus of not bringing in, not spending money or not bringing in top quality players. That never happens. But this right now, I mean, they've upgraded on paper, they've upgraded team from Oliver Giroud to Timo Werner. In midfield, they got Kai Havertz. You know what I mean? He also was in, for me. And then you got Ben Chilwell, who's upgrading Alonso. To be honest, I reckon I'm faster than Alonso. I'm better than Alonso. Alonso got outburnt by a 6'3" centre back. I think that tells you everything you need to know about Marcos Alonso. For me, he's actually one of the best wing backs in the league, but in the back four, he's just not good enough. Yeah, but I think that Chelsea, the reason why I say they're one of the winners of the transfer window is because, although it does put a lot of pressure on Frank Lampard, I feel like they have to contend to win the league this year. I think they spent, how much they spent? 220 million. That is an absurd amount for anyone. It doesn't matter who it is, an absurd amount. And if Klopp or Jose Mourinho or Pep Guardiola spent that money, you'd expect them to win the league. So the bare minimum you expect Frank Lampard to do is contest the Winter League. Because Man City don't look that great this season. Neither do Liverpool. They got absolutely battered by Aston Villa, but that might have been a blip, whatever. But there should be a free run to the title. The only team that I can say looking good, or one of the two or three teams that I say are looking good in every single game, probably Spurs. I wouldn't, maybe Arsenal, but Liverpool. But Everton as well. To be fair, but I don't think they're winning the league. But yeah, I think. For me, Chelsea, this move by these moves by Frank Lampard and his team and Abramovich and whatnot, I think this puts them straight back up there to the top. For me, I got Everton. Now, I mean, in my group chat I was popping, they were saying, the owners of Everton are either they're moving weight or they're doing something on an international scale. And then I realised that there were some of the owners or some of the shareholders that try to buy a big stake into Arsenal, such as Usmanov and Co. They've gone to Everton and they're splashing their peas. I think they're moving weight, but they're splashing the weeds. You're looking at Ben Godfrey for 24 million. Still, I think 22 million centre back, good, strong from Norwich. You got Allen, experienced midfielder. You got Decore. Now, this is a good sign, Decore. Let me tell you why. Because I'm not a professional scout, and I don't pretend to be. But if anybody tells you that he wasn't Watford's best player for the last X amount of years, they're lying to you. I don't understand how he wasn't playing for a top 6, top 8 side all these years, because he's got it all. He's strong, he's fast, he's dynamic. You know what I mean? He can play. Decore, I've always wanted him at Arsenal. I've always wanted someone of his stature. We'll talk about Arsenal in a bit. Always wanted someone of his stature, but I don't understand how he goes for, what, £20 million? What's going on? Do some of these big clubs feel like they're too proud to get someone like Decore or what? Because Decore can get into a lot, if not all of the top sides in top 6 sides. I'm trying to think what sides would not get into. Maybe, I think he gets into Man United. I think he gets into Spurs. I think he gets into Arsenal. I think he might not get into Chelsea. Maybe not over Kovacic, but maybe not Arsenal now. But yeah, anyway, Decore gets into a lot of these teams, and it's ridiculous. You know, going down to James Rodriguez, who came in on a free transfer. From what I've been told, is James Rodriguez is done. Now, if he's done, then in his prime, he must have been the best thing going, because he's done, and I'm not going to say him single-handedly, but that Everton side is rejuvenated. They look like they can beat anyone. And Dominic Calvert-Lewandowski up front, you know what I mean? He's going to be eating this season. You look at last year, he was having, Gylfi Sigurdsson, Bernard and Iwobi giving him balls, and now he's got, James Rodriguez, we've got Richarlison and them, man, giving him balls. I think he can easily get, not easily, I think he'll probably get 15 to 20 goals this season. And for Everton striker, if he stays fit, God willing, if he stays fit, that's a huge number, bruv. You know, and to think that they spent 67 million and their biggest sale of the season was 2 million of mortgage idling, it shows that not only are they making smart recruitments, because you look at these fees around at 20, 25 million and whatnot, Hammers on the free. Not only shows that it's smart recruitment, but it shows that they're willing to spend peas. You know what I mean? To spend 60 odd million pound ain't no cheap, ain't no small thing. Even though some of the players nowadays are expensive, but to get the players of this quality, Allen, Ben Godfrey, Decore, James Rodriguez for that price, bruv, you know what I mean? You got hats off to Everton. I think that's why they're another one who are the top 3 that have won the transfer window. And the last team, in my opinion, was Aston Villa. Obviously, one of my favourite players in the Premier League is Jack Grealish. I think he's just amazing. I think he's such a techie baller. It's a joke, you know what I mean? I genuinely don't understand how he's not at a big club. Obviously, he signed a new deal recently, so I don't think you're going to get him off Aston Villa's hands for anything less than 70, maybe 80 million pounds. Like 60 to 80 million pounds, I think, should do the job. But yeah, Jack Grealish is the real deal. But then it's all about building around, and John McGinn got injured last year. But it's all about building around them, man. They brought in Matty Cash from Nottingham Forest, who I think is a good attacking right back, and he can defend, which is quite rare from a fullback nowadays. Good attacking right back. And then you got Martinez, who, after Leno went down for Arsenal, he had the form of his life. You know what I mean? I don't think he's ever had a run of games that he's played that well in. But he played absolutely amazing. And ever since he's gone to Aston Villa, he's done the same thing. You look at Bertrand Traore, I've not seen too much of him in the Premier League. Obviously, he only made his debut in the thrashing against Liverpool. But he can be a good player, especially coming off the bench, because they have the man, the myth, the legend, and Ollie Watkins up front. You know what I mean? I think a couple of years ago, I think when I first ever saw him play, he was a winger at the time. But with his build, he's quite tall. He's like 6'1", 6'2". He's quite strong. You wouldn't think that those kind of physiques are naturally wingers. But him, I reckon, with McGinn, Barkley, who's coming on loan, Grealish around him. I mean, none of these players are actually goal scorers. All of these people want to be like assisters, if that makes sense. And Ollie Watkins is going to eat. He's going to eat like me at 8:05. He's going to eat. You're looking at him at Brentford. He was virtually not unplayable. I wouldn't say unplayable because at the end of the day, they didn't make to the Premier League. You know what I mean? But Ollie Watkins was one of the best players in the Brentford side. Look, he got 25 goals in 46 games in the league last year. I mean, that not only does it show that he's durable, bruv. To put the ball in the back of his net is no easy feat. You know what I mean? Especially some guy can't even score out goals. And looking at this guy scoring at championship level, and then he got 3 goals in 3 appearances this season, I think. But to be fair, he did score. I believe it was a hat-trick against Liverpool, league leaders. So, yeah, so I think him, and then you got Hurahan, is that how I say his name? Hurahan. I think, I don't expect Aston Villa to be in the bottom 5. I'll probably say they'll finish with this squad, and if everyone's fit, and I probably got them finishing maybe 12th and 13th, which is a big improvement from where they was last season, because they only just managed to stay up. I think it was by a point. So yeah, I think those 3 teams, Chelsea, Everton and Aston Villa, are probably the winners of the transfer window.